Greetings of the day. Today, let us continue the influence of the American scholar on books, the mind of the past. Last class, I told you that the past recordings are maintained in the form of book. What are all the views on books according to Ralph Waldo Emerson? We could see. See, the second influence is his stating the theory of books. The writer of a book, according to Emerson, observes the whole world around him and he broods over the facts of the world, whatever he sees. So his thought is also on the same thing. So what are all the facts organized in his mind? He will chronologically build it or compose it in his writing. Either it may be poetry or biography or whatever it is, whatever the genre of literature may be. A book is nothing but a transmutation of life and the world into the form of several truths. According to Emerson, a book is nothing but a transmutation of life. அவன் பார்த்த வாழ்க்கைய அப்படியே he transmutes, okay, that and the world into a form of several truths. All the truths we could see in one book. So it has in qualities of purity and imperishableness. அழியவே முடியாது. No one can destroy art or literature. The persons may die, but art cannot die. In spite of this transmutation that goes into the making of a book, no book in this world and at the same time can be called perfect. Emerson says, no book can be called perfect. Who is that? No book can be called perfect because it is written by a human. So some imperfect things will be there. So there is no perfect book, Emerson says. See, in his own words, he says, meek young men grow up in libraries, believing in their duty to accept the views which Cicero, which Locke, which Bacon have given, forgetful that Cicero, Locke, and Bacon were only young men in libraries when they wrote these books. See, what Emerson says means Cicero, Locke, and Francis Bacon, they belong to different periods, of course. See, look at the biography of Cicero, lifespan 106 BCE to 43 BCE, whereas John Locke, he lived in the 17th century, and Sir Roger Bacon, of course, you all know the father of English essays, he lived in the 13th and 14th earlier, okay, of course, 13th century, Renaissance period. See, all these writers were diverse examples given by Emerson just to draw the attention of the point that the scholarly innovation exists in every century. Every century, each writer writes about something else. They write true facts. ஒரு உண்மையும் ஒவ்வொரு செஞ்சுரிலையும் some of the writers and some familiar writers he has mentioned, but at the same time we should not believe the whole truth said by these writers, he says, because they were also young writers when they lived, when they wrote this book. They were young writers. See, Cicero was a Roman orator and a Stoic in the 1st century BC. What do you mean by the term Stoic? Stoic? Nura Banu?
Ma'am.
What is meant by Stoic?
Stoic? Don't know, ma'am.
Anyone knows? indifferent feeling, reaction. If I say a joke, or if you say a joke to me, I have to laugh. But if I remain or doing something else, that face expressions, that is called stoic. Indifferent feeling, indifferent in showing the expressions. That's what we call stoic. Cicero was a Roman orator and he was a stoic, he says. Okay. Then Locke, he was a social philosopher and he is a prominent thinker who lived in the 18th century. Then Francis Bacon, who advocated the scientific method in all his essays, all those 58 essays. You have studied a few of studies of truth, of marriage, of love. So we could see the advocate of the scientific method in his essays, saying young American scholars should not believe only the book. Books are there only to guide man, but it is not your whole life, he says. Books ஒரு வழிகாட்டியா இருக்கணும். That books were also written by the young writers, but at the same time, you should not believe all the books, all the past things. Okay. See, the thinking of the great minds of the past, that what is book, he has defined. Books transmit knowledge, information, etc. through art, literature, and any other genres of writing. The great thinkers of the past learned from the world around them and they recorded their thoughts in poetical form. And the act of writing is to transmit their ideas to future generations. And at the same time, you people also must write books. Then only your future generation, the posterity, the future generation people, they will also know about this present century. Okay. If you are writing a poetry now, you must touch upon the thought of corona and its effects, so that the people in the next generation, they will, oh, they suffered from corona, they just sat inside they sat in the home and they listened the lectures. You have to write like that. They will believe what are all the writings written by you at present. Okay. So books only transmit ideas or information, everything to the future generations. Then each generation must write its own books. See, look at the next slide. According to Emerson, why he says that book is not perfect, okay, book is imperfect, why he says means because the local perishable, just as no air pump can make a perfect vacuum, no book can be called perfect. No writer can exclude from his book the conventional, the local and perishable, just as no air pump can make a perfect vacuum. Even if you use air pump, okay, to remove the air out from a space, from a place, from a vessel, but till you could see that air, at least a small percentage of air is found in that vessel or room. So there is there is no air pump which can make perfect vacuum. Okay, so there is no perfect book, Emerson says. And at the same time, they attach all the sacredness to the book. Book, it is somewhat sacredness. Of course, you will agree it. Book is somewhat sacredness. A book which must normally be a guide. Okay. Look at this. Emerson says that books bring a complete, unique pleasure in their consumption, what you have been observing, because they connect minds across time. Okay. They connect minds across time. Now we are reading Emerson's essay. So our mind is connected to Emerson's mind, Emerson's thought and ideas. Emerson talks about the joy and surprise at finding one's own thoughts, similar to those of someone living centuries before. So there is an interconnectedness between the writer and the reader. And at the same time, books can be separated into three levels. At the three levels, the best of the things, best books. Everyone can read at any time. That is called best books. Well-used books, that best books, well used by many people centuries before. And it will be read in the future time also. Then we could see some abused among the worst. நிறைய கெட்டதா சொல்லி இருக்கிற புக்கும் இருக்குது. Okay, so we should not create such bad impact, okay, by reading those books. What he says means a book can normally guide a human being. At the same time, it also becomes a tyrant. அதுவே நம்ம மனசுக்குள்ள நம்ம ரீட் பண்ணது ஒரு கொடுங்கோல் ஆட்சி மாதிரி. நம்ம இப்படி ரீட் பண்ணோம், இது அப்ப கரெக்டா தப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு it will rule our mind. So sometimes if you read bad books, it will become a tyrant. It won't show you the proper path. Okay, book is there to guide man. But anyway, you have an active soul within yourself. Okay, you have an active soul. You may read books. When you must read means, just a minute. In his own words, just I want to quote. Okay, I shall take the book. When the intervals of darkness come, as come they must, when the sun is hid, when the sun is hid, when there is darkness, when the sun is hidden, that is, he talks about your mind. When there is darkness in your mind and the stars withdrew their shining, what we will do, even at night when there are no stars, okay, when there are no stars, what we will do, Emerson says, we repair to the lamps which were kindled by their ray to guide our steps to the east again. See, beautifully he says, we repair the lamp light, of course. ஒரு chimney விளக்க repair பண்ணுவோம், okay, for getting light, okay, and that too, that light he compares to the east, that's what eastern part. He talks about India only. In India only, there are lot of holy scriptures which show or guide you in the right path, he says. Okay, and we people also, what we will do, he has reflected in his book also. He says, where the dawn is, okay, to guide our steps to the east again, where the dawn is, விடியல் எங்கு இருக்கிறதோ அங்கு நோக்கி பயணம் செல்லுங்கள், அதை தேர்ந்தெடுங்கள். You just take those books and read and you refresh your mind. You come out of the darkness. Okay, அந்த இருட்டுல இருந்து வெளிவரதுக்கு மட்டும்தான் நீ புக் எடுத்து படிக்கணும். So to come out of the darkness, you must take the books and read to become knowledgeable, to dampen your ignorance, etc. See, and he also says the Arabian proverb, just a minute. See, a fig tree looking on a fig tree becometh fruitful. This is a familiar Arabian proverb. A fig tree. Fig tree is nothing but, can anyone answer?
Athiparam.
Very good. Correct. Athimaram. Yes. Fig. I shall ask you some other fruits name. Jejube. Jejube. J-U-B, jujube. Jujube fruit in the packets.
Ma'am, jujube mean what, ma'am?
இலந்தை பழம். இலந்தை பழம். Jujube fruit. Okay. Sorry. A fig tree, let us come to the context. Please mute yourself. A fig tree looking on a fig tree becometh fruitful. ஒரு அத்தி மரம் இன்னொரு அத்தி மரத்தை பார்த்த உடனேயும் அதுக்கு தெளிவு பிறந்து, okay, it will also bear fruit. This is the Arabian proverb. Like that, when we read the books from East, that is from India, from Asia, we will become knowledgeable. There won't be any darkness around us. This is what Emerson says. Just a minute, I'll go back. Every person has the ability, the right, and higher duty to create at their best. Books inspire the readers toward creation. When you read books, you must have creative thought. There may be some danger of inspiring slavish imitation also. அதுல உள்ளதையே திருப்பி சொல்றதுக்கும் நமக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. Okay, that slavishness, that imitation, copying the same thing in your book also. Okay, but we must be very careful avoiding those slavish imitations. See, how you must read means you must have creative manners, creative actions, and creative words. He says there are creative manners, there are creative actions, and creative words. Manners, actions, and words, that is indicative of no custom of authority, but springing spontaneous from the mind's own sense of good and fair. உன்னை நீங்க ரீட் பண்ணும்போது you must have that and the effect, creative manners, creative actions, then creative words. Understood, pa? Then look at the next slide. The English dramatic poets have Shakespeareized now for 200 years. See, when Emerson was addressing his people, Shakespeare lived in 16th century, whereas Emerson lived in 18th century. So 200 years after, okay, 200 years after, he says, till now we talk about Shakespeare, and we have the dramatic, the English dramatic poets have Shakespeareized for 200 years, but there is no one Shakespeare we could found now, even after 450 years now also. Okay, and he also talks about Plato. We always appreciate Plato, we always appreciate Shakespeare's words, but there is no one Plato at present, there is no one Shakespeare at present. Why? What happened to these young minds? What happened to these young scholars? You start writing, you just surpass Shakespeare, you just surpass Plato. Understood? Then next, that's what man thinking must not be subdued by his instruments. Instruments means books. It should not be subdued by this book. Books are for the scholar's idle time. Books are for the scholar's idle time. When you read, okay, you will become lazy. And the active soul is within you. You can read God directly. When you have the talent, okay, of reading the God directly, why you should be lenient towards this book always? He talks about the advantages and disadvantages of books. Okay, So that's what already I told you. But intervals of darkness, that's what when sun is hidden, when stars withdrew, we start to repair the lamps. Okay, we hear that we may speak. எதை கேட்கிறோமோ அதைத்தான் கண்டிப்பா நம்ம பேசுவோம். Even when you listen the lectures delivered by your teachers, all the teachers of course, okay, surely you will repeat it one day. Either it may be after 10 years or 20 years. Whatever I heard from my teacher, I repeat. I'm unconscious, நம்ம subconscious mindல அது பதிஞ்சிருக்கும். So we will talk it the same words. Okay, so we hear that we may speak, and what are all the words we hear around us, that also we may speak. Okay, that's why we must always utter good words, positive words. The next one saying, the active and creative human mind can find intellectual nourishment in any sort of book. At the same time, Emerson says, whatever the book you choose, you can find that intellectual nourishment. Your intellectual, the power, okay, will be nourished by reading any sort of book. When your mind is obsessed in positive way, positive thought, positive outlook, so you will take that positive thing from that book. That's what he says. The active and creative human mind can find intellectual nourishment from any sort of book. Okay. However, scholars should read judiciously, but at the same time, you must know how to judge, how to value, okay, the book. How to value the book, you must know, deciding for themselves what parts of any book are universally true. Whether the writer has spoken universal truth in that book, you must analyze. So you must be a creative reader also. You must be a creative reader, and what parts are specific to the time a work was written. Okay, அப்ப அந்த காலத்துல சொன்னதும் இப்ப அது உண்மையா இருக்குதா அப்படின்னு நீங்க ரிசர்ச் பண்ணணும். So you must research and read. Then he also talks about the college's studies. Okay, he concludes like this. Just I will read the quote before getting into the action. Ma'am, I shall read it. History and exact science he must learn by laborious reading. See, you should not avoid history books at the same time, then science book also. Only by reading history books and science books, we will come to a conclusion how the people had lived before you seen, or what are all the scientific facts. Only by reading those books, we will know those facts. They have their colleges in like manner have their indispensable office to teach elements, but they can only highly serve us when they aim not to drill but to create. The colleges must not drill the students, must not always give practice what is in the book, what is in the book, but they must give them how to create. He says, when they gather from far every ray of various genius to their hospitable halls. Okay, This is enough, I think so. This is what Emerson talks about books. See, before concluding the influence of the book, I would like to say that Emerson also talks about a man may love a particular hero. A man may love a particular hero, but at the same time, he should not worship the statue of the hero. You can love that person, you can even worship that person, but you should not love to worship the statue of that hero. அவங்களுடைய சிலையை நீ வழிபடுற அளவுக்கு அடிமுட்டாளா போகக்கூடாது அப்படின்றார். Okay, so it is only the meek who believe that is their duty to accept all the views which Cicero, Locke, Francis Bacon said earlier. He says, okay, only the meek people will obey their words, and those meek people are only bookworms. புத்தக புழுவா இருக்கிறவங்க மட்டும்தான் அவங்க சொன்னதெல்லாம் உண்மைன்னு நம்புவாங்க. So you have an active soul within yourself. Okay, books are there only to guide a man. So every man has an active soul in himself, within himself. That's what he has ended. The next influence is action. How he starts, see, there goes in the world a notion that the scholar should be a recluse, a valetudinarian, as unfit for any handiwork or public labor, as a pen knife for an axe. As a pen knife for an axe. He says, how thought will be ripened into truth? How thought will be ripened into truth? Can anyone answer?